Morning peeps, good morning everyone, how we all doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget as well to like and share the vids. The people have spoken and you guys have said yes, the majority of you guys anyway. I asked on yesterday's video if we should do a live this evening. Bear in mind that Brazil are playing in the World Cup, and I think you guys have all, apart from a few, all of you have said, yeah, let's do it. So guys, we are going to do a live this evening. We're going to get underway at 7:30 as we build up to a big weekend of boxing. Obviously over here we've got Troy Williamson versus Josh Kelly. Undercard, by the way, is decent. Lyndon Arthur takes on Joel McIntyre. And then on Saturday over here we've got Fury Chisora, Dubois versus Lorena. And then in America, in the early hours of Sunday morning, we have a big one, ESTRADA versus Chocolatito 3. So look, loads to talk about. So that's why we're going to do a live. And then obviously don't forget the big one, please. I need you guys all there. The watch along on Saturday for Fury Chisora. We're going to get that underway as well at 7:30. So 2 lives back to back. Bear in mind, we haven't done a live in, I think the last live we did was a Sunday session live. I had a little check. It was Sunday session live. It was the aftermath of Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall. So it's been a while. And the last live watch along we did was, as I thought, I think I said it on a video the other day, it was Haney Kambosos 1. So not Haney Kambosos 2, Haney Kambosos 1. So it's good to be doing a live, but make sure you guys join us this evening at 7:30. I say us because we are collective, but join me at 7:30 this evening as we preview the weekend's boxing. All right, let's quickly give you out some predictions, some thoughts on those 3 fight cards. Let's start with the one this evening, Troy Williamson versus Josh Kelly. I kind of gave my breakdown of how that fight will play out yesterday, but just if you didn't watch yesterday's video, I'll kind of repeat myself again. By the way, I thought Josh Kelly looked a bit fleshy at the weigh-in, but I do wonder if that was a ceremonial weigh-in. So I'm sure you guys know this, or maybe you don't actually. A lot of the fighters will weigh in the morning. That's the official weigh-in, right? Official weigh-in, and then just so you guys can see them on the scales, they'll weigh in again. That's kind of what happens a lot of the time now. Not all the time, but it happens a lot of the time. So I do wonder if the weigh-in was 6 or 7 hours earlier and Josh Kelly's then rehydrated, got some liquid on, and that's why he looks a bit fleshy. I saw that Troy Williamson kind of held his belly a bit. Look, Troy Williamson's in ridiculously good shape. Ridiculous. That's the kind of shape that Brook was in when Brook was a 147 fighter. He looks immense. He really does. For Josh Kelly, it's strange because Josh Kelly was considered a big 147. It's weird. Everyone that's considered big at the weight below, they go up a weight class and they're just normal. It's almost like Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a big 147, goes up to 154. He's not big at all. It's not. He's just a normal guy. And I feel like it's that with Josh Kelly. For Josh, it's the early rounds. He's going to have to bank a lot of the early rounds and then hang on down the stretch, I think. And he might do that, by the way. Look, Josh Kelly is definitely the better boxer of the two. That's fact. He is. There was a lot of hype about Josh Kelly a couple of years ago. Obviously, then he got the Avanesian fight. And if you remember that fight, he started so well, and then it just seemed to all unravel. So he's a very, very good boxer. I don't know where he is mentally. Physically, I mean, Adam Booth would have got him in good nick, we hope. And Adam Booth hopefully would have sort of, I don't know, got a good game plan there as well. We know that's what Adam Booth's good at, right? Like getting under your psyche and sort of producing really good performances with even some of these underdog fighters. But look, Troy Williamson for me is gonna win this fight. I think Troy Williamson will be behind on the scorecards going into sort of the middle rounds, and then I think he will just grind out a victory. And I don't mean grind out where it's like close on the scorecards. I mean grind out where he starts to really make this dirty. He starts to go to the body. We know that he has powers of recovery. You go and watch the Ted Cheeseman fight and it looked like he was out on his feet in that fight. And then he just finds a way to kind of dig deep and go to those reserves. And yeah, I think he's gonna hurt Josh Kelly. I really do. I think Josh Kelly, again, I think will win the opening rounds. I think his boxing, his movement, his feet, his hand speed, I think it's all going to be a bit much for Troy Williamson. And I think a lot of people who are Williamson fans are going to be like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? And then when he does slow down, and he will slow down because I think the fight's going to be at a really frantic pace. When he slows down, I think that's when Williamson starts to close the gap a bit, starts to read the shots, read the patterns, and then I think he starts to go to work. Again, if Josh Kelly has built up a good enough lead so he can hang on down the stretch, then he might win this one. But I think Troy Williamson will get to him, and I think Troy Williamson will either win this by 3 or 4 rounds or stop him late. That's what I'm going with. Co-main event's an interesting one. Lyndon Arthur, Joe McIntyre. I feel like Lyndon Arthur is one of those sort of light heavies that trying to get back in the mix after that yard fight. He's trying to get back there. There's a couple of really good light heavies that are not, that I think should be in that. You know, we always talk about Yard, Buatsi, Callum Smith, and to an extent Callum Johnson and Craig Richards now. I think Lyndon Arthur and Dan Aziz need to be in that. They're close, but they need to be in it. And I think this is a good opportunity for Lyndon Arthur to show that he's above sort of this English level. Let's not forget Joe McIntyre is the English light heavyweight champion, and that he should be at least in and around that mix. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing a Craig Richards Lyndon Arthur fight or Craig Richards Dan. I wouldn't mind seeing those fights. But yeah, let's see. I don't think this is easy work for Lyndon Arthur at all. Was this the opponent he was supposed to fight? Probably not, actually. But was this the opponent he was supposed to fight on the undercard of Ben Eubank? Remember, he was supposed to be on that undercard. Maybe not. But look, I'm happy that he's out again. I saw him in Abu Dhabi. He was ringside, obviously cheering on Zelfa Barrett. Very, very big 175. Really big 175 pounder. But look, let's see what he can do. He should get the win. It's going to be a competitive fight. Joe McIntyre, again, is coming off 2 good wins. He is the English champion. He wants to be in that mix that I've just mentioned. But I like Lyndon Arthur, and I think Lyndon Arthur is going to get the job done. And then we'll see what happens in 2023, whether or not he can get sort of those big fights again, whether he can get in that mix. Not sure, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, let's talk about the big fight card, or the big fight at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And by the way, a lot of people were talking about this ticket thing. A lot of people were like, Ade, it's not sold 55,000. There are resellers and they're struggling to sell. I mean, George Warren has confirmed that 60,000 people will be there. So, however, they've sold the tickets, and I'm not a fan of that resale crap, but however they've done it. 60,000 people are going to be at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for Fury Chisora. And again, if you're Tyson Fury, this is now back-to-back. I mean, this is back-to-back. And he's not fighting, I mean, look, they're big names, but they're not like gigantic ticket sellers. It's not like it's not like White and Chisora have done stadiums by themselves before. So Fury now is a big ticket seller. It's just that simple. I know, like, some people like to maybe think he isn't. He is. I mean, there were, 80,000? Like, just say, because I know some people say it was empty. Some of the seats were blacked out. Even if there were 70,000 at Wembley, that's 70,000 tickets. So some people obviously say, they were at Wembley and parts of the stadium were empty. Okay, it's a 90,000 seater stadium. Even if it was 70, this man is selling 70,000 tickets. It's crazy. Honestly, it's crazy. And it's not like they're stacking the undercard. He's doing it on his own. That's just people wanting to tune in to see Tyson Fury. And again, now on Saturday against Chisora, 60,000 tickets have been sold. 60,000 tickets. It's incredible. Honestly, I think it's incredible. I never thought anyone could do that back to back who wasn't named AJ in this country. It's true. I think AJ was that stadium fight. I never thought that Fury could do it. Even coming off that Wilder stuff, I didn't think he could sell those tickets, and he clearly can now. That's why the Fury AJ fight is so big, because you generally have 2 guys that sell stadiums. And there's not many fighters in the world that can do that. Not many. In fact, there's probably only 2 or 3 that can do stadiums, people. Canelo can do a stadium. I think we've seen that when he fought Billy Joe Saunders. That's that. It's honestly, it's maybe a list of 3 or 4 fighters, and Tyson Fury is one of them. Anyway, look, to the fight. Fury will win this fight. I've said on my past video, and I think people have started to agree with that the best Fury is the Fury that fought Klitschko in terms of no wear and tear on the body. Obviously, he hadn't abused his body. He was 240 something pounds, which I think is a great shape for him. He's still very spiteful. If you look at the Chisora 2 fight, he could punch, he could move. I think that's the best Fury. But this Fury here now is still very, very good. Very, very good. I mean, he's just too big for everyone. He's far too big. You know, there's been this conversation about Fury as an all-time great and how would he match up with some of the best heavyweights in the world. I think there's two different discussions here that people are having. I saw Boxing Social put out something saying, is Tyson Fury, they basically gave all these stats like his height, his reach, and it said, is Tyson Fury the greatest heavyweight of all time? Obviously not. That's stupid. Obviously he isn't. I think what they should have asked is, can Tyson Fury compete with the greatest heavyweights of all time? And that answer is obviously yes. So Tyson Fury's resume, and look, he's never going to have a resume unless he continues fighting for the next 10 years and fights everyone. He's never going to have a resume that competes with your Ali's of the world. It's just not possible. He's never going to have enough defenses like your Larry Holmes. It's just not possible. Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, etc. But in terms of being able to compete against them, obviously he can. You'd have to be very biased towards him and very favourable towards history if you don't think a man that big can compete with some of the best heavyweights of all time. He can compete. I'm not saying he can beat them. That's a whole different discussion that historians can have. I'm not a boxing historian, but he can compete. But anyway, look, I'm going all over the place. Tyson Fury now will still beat Chisora now because Chisora is taking too much punishment. It's just that simple, really. Chisora's taking too much punishment. He's now far too slow. Like I was there for the Pulev fight. You guys know I interviewed him in the ring after, and I was very, very happy for him. But Pulev was moving in quicksand. They were both. Honestly, I was there thinking, gee, like I almost felt like both of them needed to be oiled. Like, you know, when like your car just needs a bit of MOT. Both of them were so slow. And Fury's not slow. So look, Fury can win this fight however he wants to win it. He can win it on the outside, just jabbing and moving. He can win it inside. We know this now. He's got the power. And even if Chisora does catch him, even if Chisora lands one of those big sort of loop-in overhand rights that he can sometimes catch you with, Fury will eat it and get up. He'll eat it. He'll eat it, get up, and keep on going. So yeah, Fury will get the job done. Chisora might cause him problems from the first couple of rounds, because I think that's when Chisora's at his best, when the engine is full and he can literally just unload. But no, it's not happening. What I do want to say is Alexander Usyk get in the ring. I mean, Fury's spoken about him getting in the ring, and I think Frank Warren and Bob Arum have said that he will be there and he will get in the ring, and that's good. It's a shame that AJ's not going to be there. AJ's in America, I think he said. When asked, I think Kugan Cassius asked him if he's going to be there, and he said no, he's going to be in America. Some of you might say, well, what does AJ need to be there for? I just find it all entertaining. If AJ's there watching Fury, I just find it entertaining. And then Fury can, as Fury do, get on the mic and he'll point at AJ and point at Usyk, and he'll call them dossers and bums, and I like all that shit. But yeah, Usyk will be there, and Usyk will get in the ring after, and then hopefully that's the sell. Hopefully that's it, that's done. And then we are talking about him versus Usyk in the summer. That's what we hope. That's what we want to see. But yeah, good luck to Chisora. I just don't see how he gets it done. Daniel Dubois versus Kevin Lerena. Daniel Dubois will run through this guy like hot knife through butter. He will. Kevin Lerena is too small. He's too small. And it's not like he's too, it's not like he's too good, but too small. He's just too small. And Daniel Dubois right now is extremely confident. Obviously coming off that Trevor Bryan win where he looked really good. Bear in mind, Trevor Bryan's really crap. He looked really good. Kevin Lerena, no. Kevin Lerena's almost got to make this a small fight. So he's got to make everything small. He's got to make Dubois punch down. There's too many things Kevin Lerena's got to do to get the job done, and he's not going to get the job done. It's that simple. Juan Francisco Estrada versus Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Now this is a high level fight. This is boxing. This is going to be just sensational. Honestly, this is one of those ones where you're going to need to rewind it and watch it again in slow motion to pick off what both of these guys are going to do. I've seen a clip of Roman Gonzalez, and it's been slowed down, and what he's doing against Julio Cesar Martinez. That was his last fight. And it's just sensational what he's doing. It really is. I don't know how you think of all those things when everything's when the action is so fast. I'm not quite sure how you think of everything to do like he's doing. Does that make any sense? Hopefully it does. But he literally is punch perfect. He's punch perfect. He's 35. He's someone that I think's just clocked boxing. He understands it almost just like the way Messi understands football. Like, it's just, they see things in slow motion. Where we look at it and think, oh my God, this is going at such a fast pace. He just seems to slow down and pick his punches perfect. So look, I think he gets the job done against Juan Francisco Estrada. I thought he beat him the second time round. So although we're moving into a trilogy, I actually think it's 2-0 to Chocolatito. But look, Estrada's going to cause him problems because Estrada's very, very good as well. This is high-level boxing. High level. It really is. And these are guys that throw punches and bunches and hundreds of punches around. Like, this is legit. This is what boxing is about. I know we like to see the heavyweights, and I get it. We want to see knockdowns and knockouts, and you almost want to see people larger than life enter the ring. But if you are just trying to understand the sport and study it, this is it on Saturday. Bam Rodriguez is going to be there. Hopefully that's the fight they make next. I know Eddie Hearn's been speaking about sort of this flyweight, sort of like flyweight almost competition. What's the word again? I can't even describe it. You know what I'm talking about, where all the four are ready to fight each other for an undisputed. There's a term that's completely I've left my brain. But I want to see Bam versus Chocolatito. I want to see if Bam can do what he's done to Quadras and Rungvisai. Can he do it to the greatest super fly there's ever been? That's debatable. We'll see. But yeah, I think Chocolatito will get the job done. So if you want to put a bet on, this is where I wish I had a betting sponsor, but I don't. I would go, of the big fights, I would go Lyndon Arthur points. I go Lyndon Arthur points. I would go Troy Williamson knockout 9-12. I would go Fury stoppage or points? Fury corner stoppage. I think it might be a corner stoppage. I think the corner might throw the towel in on this one. Danny Dubois KO, and I'm going to go for Chocolatito to win wide. Does that make any sense? Hopefully it does. Anyway, guys, see you at 7:30. Peace and love.